Hello everybody, and welcome to the third update video of the channel formerly known as Chateau d'If and the channel currently known as Data Talks. Today it's going to be pretty similar to the other update videos. We're going to do a little TLDR, TL don't watch section, and then I'm going to go on for a little bit more elaboration later on. So, first off, and most importantly, my current video editor, may she rest in peace. No, she's totally fine, but she's graduating. And so she's going to be getting a new full-time job, and so she's going to be too busy to do sort of video editing that we've done together in the past. So I'm looking for a new video editor. If you guys are interested in sort of learning a little bit more data science, interacting with me sort of on a more personal level, and then, actually getting paid, money, yes, please reach out to me. I'll talk about a little bit more details of video editing later in the video. The next thing I want to talk about is courses. The next two courses that I'm going to be coming out with are going to be Deep Learning Building Blocks, which is a course that talks a little bit about how you use neural networks and the layers in neural networks in normal tabular data science tasks. So it should be super interesting. It sort of comes off the tail of me doing sort of a massive data science project with a friend that's been sort of relatively successful. So I want to take the learnings that I got from there and sort of make them into a condensed form. And I think it came out really, really well. The repository for that I will link down below. And the second one I've got is An Opinionated Guide to Pandas. And this one I think is also really, really good. There are reasons why I decided to make, an opinionated guide to pandas, why I decided to focus on pandas. So it's a library for panel data in Python. It's basically telling you what you should use and what you shouldn't use of the pandas library, because it's a very bloated library in the most positive of senses. Growth is another thing. We've grown to 3,000 subscribers, which is pretty good. The previous update video was at 500 subscribers, if you can believe it. So we're getting up there. We've gotten 200,000 views and then a lot of minutes watched. So we're approaching the 250,000 type number of views, which is always great when you're measuring things in millions. But it's been really nice. I think people have really enjoyed this. I've gotten so many positive comments on just sort of how useful this has been. People have been sort of commenting and asking me questions, which has been sort of lovely. So I feel like I've at least been able to help out a couple of people along the way, and hopefully this has helped out you. So those are the major updates of the channel. If you've not already, please go ahead. I would love to see you guys subscribe to the channel. Click that big red button. I promise I only update once a week, and it will all be super useful. Otherwise, if you are interested in the full spiel, stay tuned. So let me talk a little bit more about those first subjects. So first is video editing. The video editor sort of position that I'm looking to have is someone to basically collaborate with. It's super collaborative. It's sort of a back and forth. It's super low pressure. I make videos for the most part in batches beforehand. So it's what we've done in the past is I've sort of made like 10 videos. I've given them to sort of the editor, and so she'll spend sort of an hour each week going ahead and doing some editing of videos and then handing them off to me, so I can go ahead and do a weekly release cycle. So it should be super nice. I do want it to be like a really nice relationship, though. That's one of the things that was great with my previous editor. So if you guys know anyone that's interested in doing that, if you guys would like to be interested in doing that, we don't do heavy edits here. As you can tell, it's mostly just sort of cutting and then doing a little bit of audio edits. So if you guys are interested in doing that, please just let me know. Reach out to me directly on the channel, or you can just go ahead and go to my personal website and find my email address on the personal website and just send me an email. That's it for the video editor. The new types, the new courses that I'm going to be doing. So there's a lot of news here. So first, the causal inference course and the statistical inference course. These were the things that I talked a lot about during my previous video. Well, the statistical inference course is done. I'm very proud of it. I really like it. I recommend it to basically everyone I meet. I just go up to like McDonald's and I tell the people to watch this course. It's good for them. I I really recommend it. If you've not seen it yet, it's obviously not the most popular of my courses. It seems like, some of the deep learning stuff or some of the scikit-learn stuff is more popular, but it's super useful. I'd really recommend it. The causal inference course, both of those courses took a very long time, as you can tell. The statistical inference course wound up to be like 30 videos. The causal inference course, I believe, was 50 videos. It's going to be 50 videos. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break in between this course. It's really long, to go ahead and bring to you these two new courses, the deep learning building blocks and the sort of pandas, the opinionated guide to pandas. In addition, I'm going to be doing one sort of mini test run of a separate course, which is going to be going over Pandas Exercises, kind of in an ad-lib fashion, and just sort of working through them with you guys. It's actually pretty cool. I almost wonder if I should do that on Twitch, but I just don't think anyone would watch. If you guys would be interested in like literally doing data science together in like a Twitch-like setting, let me know. I would be happy to. That would be almost really fun. And yeah, we can go ahead and do that. But I'd need at least, like 20, 30 comments, because, if I'm doing Twitch with just one other person, it could get a little bit awkward. So those are the 3 new courses that I'm working towards. There were 2 other courses that I mentioned in my previous update video that I was interested in doing, and I tried out and I decided not to do. So one of them is deep learning history, and the other one was quantitative biases. So the deep learning history course, I decided not to go ahead and do it. I tried to do it. I did 2 episodes of it, in truth. Unfortunately, it was extremely time consuming to go ahead and produce because of the type of sort of pseudo animation / editing that I was doing. Perhaps I should have just made it sort of a PowerPoint type thing, but it was also very dry. I just couldn't sort of breathe life into it, and so I decided to stop it. And I think partially it was just because I didn't have sort of the passion that I have normally when going into these things. It's sort of very exciting for me. I almost feel like I'm learning at the same time as as you're learning. And it was just sort of a recitation of facts. The quantitative biases course just was overwhelming, to be frank. There's no sort of unified theme to the quantitative biases. The unified theme is that the human brain sort of works in mysterious ways, and we can often be tricked. But it's so diverse in the ways that it works that I couldn't really find a way to string these things together, and so it would just be sort of completely separate episodes. It would be very episodic, which could be interesting, but I don't have the resources to make something that is purely episodic. And then it's what I did was I made a lot of little sort of animations to go with it as well. So it wasn't like what I've done with sort of coding or what I've done with statistical inference, where it was sort of drawing on sort of a little tablet. So both of those courses, I regret to say, I'm certainly not going to be doing the deep learning history course. And I'm probably not going to be doing the quantitative biases course unless if anyone is wants to go ahead and sponsor me. It's for around 100K a year. I can go ahead and think about making that. Wink, wink. I don't have the resources to do that course at the moment. So both of those, I think, unfortunately, are tabled. So I've decided to go ahead and switch to these other courses, which I think are really cool. I've learned a lot from, and I think you guys will learn a lot from too. I actually really enjoyed sort of going back to the roots of the channel, which was doing more stuff for intermediate data scientists practitioners, instead of sort of doing the super basic stuff that we did with causal inference and statistical inference. Okay, so that's sort of a little bit more in-depth on the video editor. That's a little bit more in-depth on the courses. And now I want to go a little bit more in-depth on some other things that have been happening with me. So, startup stuff and story stuff. There's 2 other subjects that I'm pretty interested in, just generally speaking. One of them is startup stuff. If you guys are interested in that, I've done a little bit of writing on sort of what I've learned from sort of doing startups myself. I'm sort of in no position to go. I know one or 2 of you guys have actually written me and sort of asked like, hey, if you are looking to go ahead and hire people, let me know. I'm in no position to hire anyone except for a video editor at the moment, but I promise I will let you guys know if I'm ever in the position to go ahead and do recruiting. And if you've seen my channel, it's an automatic in. So it's been fun. I've written down some stuff. They're in a GitHub repository. I'll go ahead and include the GitHub repository here. Please go check it out if you're interested in startup stuff, and let me know what you think. They are very raw. If I am an expert in data science, I am no more than a grasshopper in startup life. It is more complicated than I could have imagined. The second thing that I'm super interested in, and this is sort of a personal passion, is stories. I guess, some people really like visual arts. Some people really like, music. The thing I really like is stories. I read all the time. And I don't read a lot of nonfiction. I read nonfiction for work. I read enough academic papers, as you guys have seen, sort of my deep learning paper list, which I've unfortunately stopped maintaining, but should continue to maintain, is quite long. So I read nonfiction for non-pleasure, and I read fiction for pleasure. And I read a lot of fiction. So what I've done is sort of made a little YouTube channel, because I've had so much fun sort of making this one, which sort of allows me to go ahead and pursue that passion. So I write a couple of little small stories, do some voice acting on top of those stories, which is fun. And then I also do some reviews of stories that I have, either, watched, played through, or read. So if you're interested in those, go ahead and check it out. There's absolutely no pressure. And if you are interested in actually doing editing work over there as well, I could be talked into it. I'm certainly interested in having help with data talks, because I try to keep sort of a weekly schedule, and it can be a little bit overwhelming without sort of a partner to go ahead and do this with. And I'm happy to go ahead and compensate. But with the story talk stuff, hey, I mean, if you're interested, I would be happy to at least talk. So those are the updates for my channel. If you've gotten all the way here and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, please subscribe. Let me know what you think about the new plans for the channel. I will hopefully be a little bit more speedy in terms of the next update. So hopefully I'd like to go ahead and get an update at 5,000 subscribers, which I'm 100% sure that we will hit. And then maybe I will give an update at 10,000 subscribers, which I am not sure that we will hit. But it's on you. Get all your friends and family members to subscribe fast. Regardless, it's been wonderful. I really appreciate all the support, all the great comments that you guys have given. And I support you guys for, giving me the encouragement to sort of continue working on this. This has been the longest thing that I've done continuously in my entire life. So hopefully it keeps going. Okay, well, that's my update, and from Nathaniel Tucker, as well as from Data Talks and former Chateau Dief. Thank you for subscribing.